Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahushai, right? And I just wanted to come with a quick exhortation for brothers and sisters that deal with depression, stress, anxiety, things of that nature. It's a lot of that going on in the world right now in these last days. It's a lot of tough times that are coming upon, the bruise. And brothers and sisters always got to keep in mind that all this is for a season. All these things are given unto you to make you better. And first and foremost, you have to understand that you're still in captivity and things are going to happen. Things are going to befall you, but you have to trust and lean on the Lord. You can't lean on your own, intuition, your own thought process, just your own flesh, right? You always have to be in a mindset or in a mold to know that the Lord is going to carry you through these things, right? It's easier said than done, but it takes effort and understanding through the scriptures and the precepts that the Lord is always going to be on your side. The Lord is not going to allow you to just drown. And you have to understand that and believe in that first and foremost. Have the faith, Salakia, that, the Lord is not going to allow you to drown in all these things and not save you out of it. Right? You have to really trust in the Lord in these last days, man. And stop thinking with the carnal mind, the fleshly mind. Right? Let me get this precept started off real quick. Book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41. And it reads, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak." Right? And temptation is not always lust. I'm trying to lose some weight, but I see that burger, man. I just need one more bite, man. I gotta eat one more burger before I, get on this weight loss journey. Things of that nature. That's not always the temptation, right? Temptation comes in when you're depressed, when you're stressed, when you're feeling low in the spirit, when you don't think you can do it anymore, things of that nature, and you want to give up. And you start to lean on your own ways and your own thought process, right? And as thinking as a carnal man or a woman, right? That is being weak in the flesh. Because the flesh is going to tell you ample different things, right? The Lord said the heart is deceitful above all and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Who can understand his own heart? So therefore you cannot lean on your own thoughts on how you're going to get out of these situations. You have to take it to the Most High. The Lord said he is the one that's going to sustain you in these last days, man, if you just believe. Right? So let me get that real quick. In the book of Psalms, right, chapter 55 and verse number 22, and it reads, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved." And that's what you have to understand, is the Lord is never going to suffer you that giving up everything in this world and decided to follow him, keep his commandments, and have the faith in his son. He's not going to allow you to sit around in the darkness, man, and never bring you out of it. You have to understand that the Lord is not going to allow you to get into that ocean of problems and allow you to dive deep with the water over your head and not pull you out, man. Right? The Lord is not going to do that. So you can't lean on your own understanding when these things start to happen, and then you're in the midst of a raging ocean of problems and stress and depression, and Satan is playing on your mind. You have to keep the faith of the Lord, man. Right? You have to. You can't think in a fleshly manner. Right? Because the Lord said the flesh is weak, but the spirit is indeed willing. So you have to calm yourself and allow the Lord to work with you and lean on him and allow him to do these things for you and to sustain you. And you have to continue to do the works, man, through your trials, through your tribulations, right? So the Lord can work, right? So let me get this real quick in the book of Matthew, right? I want to get this real quick. The book of Matthew, chapter 8. And verse number, I'm going to start at verse number, I'm going to start at verse number 23, right? And it reads, and when he was entered into the ship, his disciples followed him. So this is Yahweh disciples, right? And it says, and behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. So in the midst of, destruction and mayhem and chaos, and the ocean was erupting and things of that nature, man, Yahweh Shah was calm, man. Through the whole thing, he was so calm, he was sleeping. Right? He had no worries because he trusted in the Father, man. He understood. But the disciples were beginning to get frantic, man, and start to lose the faith in the Lord. They started to forget who they were with, who they were following. Right? Reading on, it says, and his disciples came to him and woke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? So the Lord asks you, what you afraid of? What is it that you're afraid of? Don't you trust in me? You forgot who you riding with? You forgot what I promised you? You forgot what I can do? Right? That's what having faith is in the Lord is, man, is to know and believe that the Lord is going to get you out of this, man. It's the belief in the Lord. And he said, O ye of little faith. Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. So when you coming against those stressful thoughts and those things are starting to weigh you down in your mind, they're starting to depress you and beat you down, you have to take it to the Lord. You have to cry out to the Most High, man, and allow him to sustain you in these last days. Allow him to gather you through all this, man, and keep the faith and know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You have to go through manifold temptations, manifold distresses and things of that nature, and be tried in certain situations so you can come out as gold, man. And understand that all these things are only for a season. It's only for a time. Right? The Lord said there's a time for everything under the sun. There's a season, man. And these things are not going to go on or tarry forever if you just believe that the Lord is going to pull you out of it, man. Right? Let's get a precept. Let's get this in the book of 1 Peter. Right? It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season it need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Right? I'm gonna read that one more time. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season. A season is only an appointed time. Right? You have different seasons. You have spring, you have winter, you have fall, you have summer. These things don't last throughout the whole year. They change. Right? So it says through a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness. And that's what depression and stressful situations and all that type of stuff is. It's heaviness. It's a heaviness in your mind. It weighs down your body. Right? It beats you down. Sometimes it can physically make you sick. It can kill you. Right? So you're in heaviness through manifold temptations. right? And what does manifold mean? These things, manifold means that this stuff is going to happen, many different times. It's not just going to be one time and you're going to come out of it and it's just sunny days after that. No, you're going to continue to go through things over time to help gradually grow, help you grow and get better and refine you at the end. Right? Let's get the definition of manifold, man. Right, real quick. This is the definition of manifold. And it just simply says many and various. So it says manifold temptations. So you're going to go through many temptations, right? Let's get some similarity words, right? It says many, numerous, multiple. It says legion or multitudinous, right? Lord, when I said that right. Multitudinous, varied, abundant, or diverse, right? So these are similar words to the word or to the definition of manifold. So you're going to go to diverse temptations or multiple temptations or abundance of different temptations, right? And it says that the trial of your faith being much more precious than the gold that perisheth. So your faith is what's going to get you through. A trial is a test to see where your faith is, man. And that is much more precious than just carnal gold that's going to waste away. Right? So it says the trial of your faith being much more precious than the gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of a Mashiach. So if you go through this trial, this fire, and you're refined with the pureness, by taking away all these impurities, by fighting these temptations, right, and being pure at the end, then it results into the honor and praise and the glory at the appearing of the Son of Man. So you endured those things. You trusted in the Lord and you got that faith. And you understand that, hey, these things are only going to happen but for a moment. And if I just continue to hold on, then, hey, I can get out of this, man. I can get out of this if I just trust and lean on the Lord, man. Right, let's get the classic. Right, let's get the classic in Proverbs, man. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse number 5. And it reads, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. So the Lord said, trust in him with your whole heart, meaning your mind. Always keep your mind on him. And it says, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So you have to give the Lord your whole, everything. Believe in him wholly. That he's going to get you out of this situation. He's going to build you up. He's going to make you stronger with your faith, your belief, to know that he's going to be there for you and get you out of that depressive state, man. That stressful state, that anxiety that ails you. Right? And it says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths, man. He's going to direct your paths. And that's something that you got to understand, and you have to believe with all your heart that the Lord is going to do that. You have to believe that. And if you don't believe, the Lord says that, hey, the Lord ain't dealing with you. He can't deal with that. If you don't believe, then the Lord is not dealing with you. Right? Let me get this real quick. I don't want to paraphrase this. Let me get this. In the book of Hebrews. Right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, and verse number I'll just start at the top. I don't want to read all. Well, yeah, I'll start there. This is Hebrews 11:1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. So that's what we have to do, is we're hoping for a better start, right? And all the way to the end, a better ending, an expected end, right? And it says, for the evidence of things not seen, because you don't see the Lord. You don't see him working behind the scenes, but you understand when those things are applied to your life, how he brought you out of those things, when you're paying attention and being circumspect of the power of the Most High. And it says, for by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness, and he was righteous. By Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated, that he should not see death. And he translated him, for before the translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased Yahweh. So before the Lord translated Enoch, man, he pleased him because he walked in all his ways. He believed in the Lord, right? Just like Abel believed in the Lord, and he offered the right sacrifices, right? And it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So that's important, right? It says by faith, it says without faith, it's impossible to believe him. So in Slakia, it says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. So if you don't believe, then you can't please the Lord, man. It's that simple. You don't believe that he can do it, right? And it says, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So if you believe that the Lord can get you out of that depression spirit, man, or relieve you from that stressful demon, man, that bothers you, that anxiety that's always around, man. If you believe that the Lord can do that, then hey, he's going to reward you with that. At the end, he's going to take that off of you, right? He's going to relieve you of those stresses, man, and build you up so you can deal with these things when they try to come back around, man. To know how to defeat those spirits in the last days. So you must believe, man. You must believe. Right? So at the end of the day, you have to keep the faith and know that the Lord is the one that's going to guide you through these things. And that depression spirit, man, that anxiety, that stress and all those things, that's just what that is, man. It's a spirit. And the Lord is the Father of spirits, man. And he can take these things off of you if you just believe the Lord, man. Right? You have to remember his mighty works of old, that the Lord has always been a rewarder of those that believe him, man. Right? So let's get this real quick in the book of Psalms. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 77. And I'm going to start at verse number 5. And it reads, I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with mine own heart, and my spirit made diligent search. Right? So this is sometime when you're in that dark place and you start to commune with your own mind, man. You start to muse upon many things, stresses and things like that, but you start to diligently make search of the Lord in those dark times, man. And you start to ponder on all the works of old, man. And it says, will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Because that's what stress and depression and things like that bring. You start to deny the Lord's power. You start to forget his works, man. You start to forget the things that he had brought you through all the way up to this point, right? The demon blocks those thoughts from your mind, man. And it says, is his mercy clean gone forever? Doeth his promise fail forevermore? Have God forgotten to be gracious? Hath he in anger shut up his tender mercy? Salah. And that's what happens, right? But this is the point. It says, and I said this in mine infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. And what does that mean? I'm going to remember all the good things that the Lord has done for my forefathers, and all the things he brought them through, and all the mighty things that he's brought me through. That's the reason why I have a testimony until today, is because of what the Lord has done for me. So when I'm in those stressful depressions, depression thoughts and things of that nature, man, and it's trying to drag me down to the deep, I have to think upon the things that the Lord has done and brought me out of, right? So I won't fall into that, and I keep my faith intact and believe that the Lord is who he said he is, and he's going to do the things that he said he is going to do for me, man. And believe in those things, man, and allow him to work his work, man. Right? And we have to do that, man. Right? The Lord commanded you to do those things, to believe and trust in him. Right? Let's get this last precept. Let's get the book of Joshua. Right? It's the book of Joshua, man. Chapter 1 and verse number 9. And it reads, have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. So you have to believe that, man, that the Lord is always going to be with you. He's going to stand 10 toes down for you. Right? As long as you believe and keep that faith in him, man. Right? Faith is the key in this thing, man. That's what's going to allow you to endure, man, and not fall and be wasted away in these last days, man. That's allowing the Lord to perform his work through you, through your belief, man, and your faith in him and his son, Hamashiach Yahushua. So sit back and watch the Lord do his work, man, and believe in him. And you'll come out of that depression, that stressful, that anxiety spirit, man. Right? Let's get this last precept. The book of Psalms, chapter 46 and verse number 10. And it reads, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth. So the Lord said, be still and know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. And in due time, he's going to be exalted, man, for his mighty works. So with that, I hope it was edifying. You take these precepts and apply them to your life, man. And don't allow those depression, stressful spirits beat you down. But believe in the Most High and keep the faith in these last days. But with that, Shalom.